Namaste. Welcome to my little class called Marma Points for Everyday Vitality. This is Shakti. And if you're wondering why I'm looking so strange, I'm a little disfigured. I'm dealing with a systemic poison oak. That means it's in my bloodstream and causing rather intense reactions. So it's still me inside, just looking through a little play of transformation. So I'm trusting that whatever's poison oak doing inside me, there's some good part of it, and I will emerge in shining colors. So today we're gonna talk about Marma points and actually practice stimulation of Marma points. So what are Marma points? The word Marma means sensitive or vulnerable in Sanskrit, which really illustrates points or areas in the body that have sensitivity through which we can affect the flow of energy in the body. I like the way their Siddha medicine talks about Marma therapy as or Marma points. They are the interface of the microcosm and microcosm, the place where the astral body can be accessed through the physical, and the other way around, when the physical and the energy body can affect the way of the physical well-being, but also the mental well-being, the emotional well-being, and the spiritual well-being. So the Marma therapy is being practiced both in Ayurveda, which is the traditional Indian healing system more connected with the yogic practice, and in Siddha Veda, which is the Ayurveda of the Tantric. I'm more resonating with the Siddha Veda approach because there's a stronger connection with the Tantric, with the mystical side, but they both truly nearly identical, just as a much deeper spiritual accent in the Siddha Veda. And I'm a Marma therapy practitioner, which is a beautiful healing modality that is a part of my tantric practice that I use it in my private practice, but I'm also like to share it with you because we're coming to the point where we becoming more sovereign in our healing abilities, our well-being. We do not always need to run to the doctor out there to improve our well-being, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. So we have these beautiful places on our body where we can affect our well-being directly, either by stimulating these points ourselves or as a beautiful intimate practice with your partner. So today we're gonna use the handy sequence as I wrote, working literally with a hand, and we're gonna be moving down the chakras, which is the way the consciousness when it enters the body goes. So the cosmic consciousness enters from above through the crown and coming down. Yep, and as the consciousness flows in a body, it also activates the flow of energy. So both energy and consciousness are being activated by the marmas. And it is the interplay of consciousness and energy that makes us alive. It is the Shakti and Shiva. Consciousness is the spirit, you can say, and energy is the Shakti, is the reality. It's the energy that creates this beautiful reality, that gives us aliveness, that gives us body. So we're gonna begin with a thumb, which is our little ourselves, right? We have the fractal patterns, that little ourselves located in different part of the body, which we know that from Chinese medicine. The same comes from Ayurveda. So we can just press the top of the thumb, do a little pulsing, which stimulates the crown, stimulates the third eye also. And physically, this is the place where we have some major glands, the hypothalamus, the pineal gland, the pituitary gland. Those are glands that secrete very important hormones and neurotransmitters that are, it's kind of like a command center that affect all the other glands in the body. So the pituitary gland affects, excuse me, the sex hormones, the thyroid, the other hormonal secretions. That if there's a hormonal imbalance in the body, we always want to start at the headquarters. So you're pulsing back and forth. You can now pulse on the sides. Today I'm using dry therapy. That means just using the acupressure, but also oil can be used and essential oils can be used, which I will present in another class. So we pulsing on the side, and then we have a top of the thumb. I like to use the thumb. I know you guys, you might not have nails, but for women you can use a nail. If you do not have a nail, just use a pressure. And a wonderful place is you can actually access the sinuses through this stimulation too. Like I live literally in the woods with a lot of beautiful flowering plants right now, which are great and also cause a lot of allergies. So my sinuses are getting affected, and this is actually a very effective way to clear them out and deal with any allergies. Okay, so that was the 6th chakra, 7th chakra. We coming to the thyroid. So I mentioned thyroid as being affected by the pituitary. So that's the neck, right? This is the neck. This is the thyroid here when you're stimulating. We know the thyroid stimulates the metabolism in the body, the way of flowing energy. If your thyroid is too fast, you're going to be kind of hyper all the time and having hard time putting any meat on your bones. And if the thyroid is underactive, you might be a little sluggish and you might be putting on weight and just don't feel good, which typically happens in midlife. The thyroid tends to slow down and our metabolism get affected. So this is a wonderful way to stimulate on everyday basis the thyroid and keep your aliveness up. Moving down at the very root, or is it root of the thumb, there's a sensitive point that relates to both the eyes and to the liver. We know that the liver and the eyes are actually connected, and when your liver is congested, the eyes will suffer. So we are affecting our vision here and our liver health. And the liver is probably the largest organ, not counting the skin, largest organ in the body or inside the body that is responsible for filtering all the hormones that are used up and also all the toxic substances from the environment, which unfortunately our environment is abundant with toxic substances. So we need to have a healthy liver. So my liver is under a lot of strain from the poison oak right now. So for me, this point is extremely painful. But I'm happy to massage it. I'm happy to work with it to say thank you, liver, for dealing with my poison oak, for helping to cleanse my body and make it strong. So everyone really, everyone's liver is extremely important for your immunity, for your health. And it's a part of digestion too. When the liver is weak, your digestive system is weak. We have another digestive point, which is it's called the heel of the thumb. In the Sanskrit, this is called kurcha. This marma we just did, this is kurcha shira, which means the heel of the palm of the hand. So that relates to the stomach and the small intestine. And the stomach is, in Ayurveda, the area itself, it's the 3rd chakra. It's the seat of what we call Agni, which is the fire. In a physical sense, it will be the digestion, the place responsible for our body breaking down nutrients from the food, but also energetically. This is where the cosmic energy flows from above and below, from the earth, and this is where it's being redistributed to different frequencies to nourish different parts of the body, make functioning. So when we stimulate this marma, we work in both the digestive fire and the fire of our ability to digest our earth experience fully. So extremely important marma. We know if the digestion is not right, nothing in the body can really function. This is pretty the root of all the diseases. And energetically, if there's not enough energy in this marma, not enough energy flows in the now lost the moment now in the third chakra, we not fully expressing ourselves in the world. The third chakra is all about expressing our gifts in the world, about standing in our power, fully and strongly, being fully ourselves. And perhaps you're already seeing or feeling what's happening in the body. I'm feeling a little warmth in my tummy as I'm massaging this. I kind of skipped over this marma because it's kind of a transformation into a different realm. So these ones were very earthy when we were worked with the last two. Now this is the center of the palm is related to the heart, which is yet another frequency. The frequency actually is the frequency of the soul. So you can already feel as you're making circles there that there's a great sensitivity. I remember I was a ticklish in there as a kid. I'm not ticklish now, but it's a very, very delicious, very erotic zone actually. If you do this with a partner, you can be a part of your foreplay, part of your intimate exchange. So this relates to the heart. The heart actually has two channels into each hand, each palm of the hand. And it's affecting the spiritual heart, the heart chakra, but it's also affecting the physical heart. Last year I was working with a lady who just had a recent heart attack, and I was working these marmas on each hand and a couple, or actually a few other marmas related to the heart. And when she came to the checkup to the doctor, they just couldn't find any signs of the heart attack. This is how well she healed, working with the energy point. So it's a beautiful way to keep your heart healthy. And also just one of the things to realize when we shake someone's hands, you will not ever see the same way because you will know that you're touching each other's heart. So shaking one hand, so holding one's hand is actually a very intimate practice. You are going heart to heart. You may try some eye gazing to it and you have a tantric practice right there. So another heart-related marma is here, which is the little webbing, webbing between the fingers, the little almost see-through part that relates to the heart too. And I'm working with one hand, but all these parts are of course paired, same on the other hand also. And we have these Marma points on the feet, though their distribution is slightly different because of the way our feet are being shaped. So this is related to the heart. And now the last, we have the second and the third chakra. We have the sex organs that are responsible for the sexual energy flow, for vitality, for our health, for our enjoyment of life, and of course our ability to reproduce, to create healthy babies, and for women to have a healthy cycle and a glowing skin and beautiful hair and all that above. So there are two Marma points. There are little bumps right at the wrist. You have the wrist bone bump, kind of bumpy part, and there's another bumpy part which is on the side where the thumb is. So right above them, when you go above them towards the fingers, there's a little indentation on every side, and you can just point there. This is kind of the ankle of the hand. We have the ankle on a foot, and the area below the ankle is related to the ovaries and the womb, and the same thing is for on the hand. And of course for men it would be the testes and the lingam, though I think the female, the women, it's a little stronger affinity in the hand here. And I'm actually feeling a little warm flow into my ovaries, and I just want to smile. There's a little smile in my ovaries as I'm massaging this. And one more point is here at the wrist, which is called the mani banda, the bracelet, which is also related to the ovaries and the womb, balancing the cycle. And when I talk about the cycle, it does not matter for women whether you're still bleeding or not bleeding. You will be always in a cycle. Your body will be flowing and ebbing. So this is allowing the smooth functioning of your sexual energy flow in the body. And for the men too. For the man, it's more about steady flow of your sexual vitality. And you can pause and just close your eyes for a moment and just go within and just check how you're feeling, perhaps compared to how you felt in the beginning. I certainly feel a lot of flow up my spine. Could be just the excitement of talking to you on a video, but I think working with the Marma Points has something to do with that. So I hope that you enjoy this little class, and if you like, or if you feel drawn to explore a little more, I have a class for couples which is called Marma Points for Lovers. It happens, the next one is on April 27th, and there will be more in the future if you're watching this video past this date, but the next one will be April 27th, and it's a couple practice. We're gonna do it in a form of a beautiful tantric ritual as a way of foreplay before tantric lovemaking, to make your body all alive and vibrant with energy and vitality and sexual arousal, tantric arousal, which is a little different than regular arousal. I would say there's just more higher frequency and of course more consciousness. We want to expand consciousness too, but it's also a practice for everyday sexual aliveness, sexual vitality and rejuvenation. So there's just many levels of what we're gonna do with this beautiful practice. It's a little longer class, 2.5 hours, and I in the past when I taught it, just everybody loved it very much. Everybody was just really blissed out just from the practice itself. It was like making love just to touch each other and massage the points. So if you feel drawn to this, be so happy to see you, to really take this journey in the mystical. The details are on my website, www.pinklotus.com, and perhaps I see you there. Thank you for staying with me this time, and namaste.